been fed, the disciples witnessed abundance, and almost immediately, Jesus sends them back into the boat. The waters were not calm, it was very windy. As they struggled against the waves, Jesus comes towards them, walking on the sea. And instead of comfort, their first reaction is fear. They didn't recognize him. Let's listen. After the 5,000 had eaten and were satisfied, Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and precede him to the other side toward Bethsaida, while he dismissed the crowd. When he had taken leave of them, he went off to pray. He went off to the mountain to pray. When it was evening, the boat was far out on the sea, and he was alone on shore. Then he saw that they were tossed about while rowing, for the wind was against them. About the fourth watch of the night, he came toward them walking on the sea. He meant to pass by them, but when they saw him walking on the sea, they thought it was a ghost and cried out. They had all seen him and were terrified, but at once he spoke with them. "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." He got into the boat with them, and the wind died down. They were completely astounded. They had not understood the incident of the loaves. On the contrary, their hearts were hardened. So, in Hebrew scriptures, and lots of times in literature, the sea often represents chaos, forces beyond human control. So by walking on water, Jesus is doing something only God is described as doing in the Old Testament. This moment isn't just a miracle, it's a revelation. When Jesus says, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid," the phrase, "it is I," is very similar to when it is stated from God, "I am." Yet Mark adds this astounding detail for me when it says they were completely astounded. They had not understood about the loaves. The disciples had seen the miracle, but they just really didn't grasp yet who Jesus truly was. So this kind of makes sense because we can witness God's work and still struggle to recognize him when our circumstances change. Sometimes Jesus comes to us in ways that we don't expect, in moments of exhaustion, in resistance, or fear. And instead of calming the storm first, he speaks and says, "Do not be afraid." So the kind of key takeaways would be God's presence is there in the midst of chaos. And fear can just be a sign of misunderstanding something and not necessarily a failure. Jesus reveals himself gradually, so we have to trust his time. And faith will continue to grow through realizing this and not trying to control with our own will. So journal prompts for this would be, where do I feel like I'm rowing against the wind right now? And what fears might be keeping me from recognizing God's presence? And how have I seen God work before? What might he be revealing to me right now? And then finally, what would it look like to trust Jesus in the middle of uncertainty? I hope that this message was encouraging to you, and if you feel like a friend could use some encouragement, please feel free to pass it along. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's whispers.